All right, hi guys, we're back with workout number 2. Today's workout is called quarantine quads. So you can understand from that we'll be doing a lot of lower body workout today. So similar format to the previous day's exercise in that we've got 2 sets. We're gonna work our first set top to bottom 3 times before going down to our second set top to bottom. We will keep this in the background to refer to throughout the workout, and as before, it will be listed in the comments if you want to have that pulled up or write it down somewhere if that's easier for you to follow along with. We'll do a similar format to where I'll demonstrate straightforward and Jane will demonstrate exercises from the side so you can check in on your form. Remember, if you ever need to slow down or you're confused about something, use the pause button and review maybe what we said at the start. Equipment for today, we've got some optional things you can do for resistance. We're going to show you with a med ball and some dumbbells. You can use anything you have. If Bella was here, I'd hold her. She's not here today. You can use a baby, as we say it, dog or baby, don't drop them. Again, gallons of water, you can use a box. You can really use just about anything to give you a little bit of resistance because there's not a lot of upper body movement in this workout today. Jane's going to alternate between using 1 and 2 weights to kind of show you some differences in adding and taking away resistance. I'll be working either body weight or with a med ball. We also have jumping jacks or jump rope on here, so if you're a fan of jumping rope, we'll have that to show you. If you don't have a jump rope or you don't like it or your ceilings aren't high enough, then you can do jumping jacks, or I'll also give you a low impact version to do while we go through it. But let's not delay, let's get started and have some fun. If you're not warm right now, take a few minutes and get warmed up. It's something that we've been forgetting to say. For those of you that work with us, you know that usually looks like band walks or maybe glute bridges and some core activation, but try not to just hop into a faster paced workout without getting a little warmed up. You can even just take the dog for a walk real quick before we get going. All right? All right, so without further ado, we're gonna start with split squats. So as I said, I'm gonna show you things body weight this first round. So if you wanna stick with me and stay with body weight movements to start, let's do that. Otherwise, grab your resistance. Jane's using dumbbells and we're gonna go. We've got 20 reps here. Feet are staying stationary. Similar message to what we said in the previous episodes in terms of stable knees. We wanna make sure that we are not allowing our knees to cave in towards each other. A lot of the time the focus is put on that front leg. Give some consideration to your back leg. Both sides of your body, both sets of your adductors, your external rotators, and your glutes should be firing. They should be holding yourself steady. You'll also notice Jane's got a little deeper range of motion. Work with where you are in terms of your fitness level here. You don't need to go crazy deep and burn out. If you need to start out without any weight like I am, add it in as you go. That's also totally fine. You want to keep a really good firm heel contact in that front leg, making sure that we are balanced, using our glutes, our quads, and our hamstrings. We're also really working on projecting, so if you feel like I'm yelling at you, I'm sorry.
Turn it down.
We'll get it worked out eventually. So next up is sumo squats. So you can hold 1 weight, 2 weights, no weight. We're gonna start wide stance, toes out. Big thing as we get through doing these, if we wanna start, is making sure that our knees are going out to the side. So you should be able to see that on my body. It'll be a lot harder to see that on Jane because of her sideways facing stance right now, but we wanna see our knees going out. We don't wanna see them coming in, all right? While we're pushing our knees out, make sure that you keep your feet firmly on the ground, all right? We don't want to roll outwards on our feet in order to keep our knees out. What you can see Jane doing really well on that lateral view is a nice flat back. You can see a nice straight upright chest. You can see her hips moving back towards the space behind her.
Are you counting?
No, I thought you were.
I think we're close to 20.
Jane's the counter, guys. We've been over this. I can't count and talk and exercise. Single leg RDL. So for those of you that watched the videos yesterday, We've been doing single leg RDLs. Today we're gonna add in a movement if you would like to. So I'll show you just the body weight movement as we go through. Jane is gonna show you an RDL with a row at the bottom, all right? So we are standing up on every rep. It's not isometric like we did yesterday. All right, so whenever you're ready, guys. Remember that your balance in all single leg activities is coming from those hips and your core. We're a little close together. I feel like we might knock heads eventually. So as Jane's working through this, you'll notice on the side view that she's getting down close to parallel to the ground with her chest, and you'll see that she's pinching at her shoulder blades, that her hands are staying close to her body line, and she's just trying to get those elbows to pass behind her rib cage slightly.
Okay, that's gotta be close.
All right, switching legs. Remember that we're not great counters yet. Another thing we're trying to learn, there's a lot to learn. How to set up the camera, how to upload to YouTube. So again, you see we're kind of losing our balance over here. Hard to talk and do things at the same time when it's related to balance, but I'm going to remind you of the focal point that we referenced in previous episodes. Find that one spot on the ground and just stare at it. Try not to let your focus break away from that spot as you go down and come back up.
Okay, that's gonna be close.
All right, so next exercise is jump rope or jumping jacks. So if Jane's gonna show jumping jacks for you, everybody knows how to jump rope, hopefully. I'm gonna show you a low impact way to do for 45 seconds. So we'll get started in 3, 2, and go. All we're gonna do, march high knees, elbow to opposite knee. Get a little bit of that low core work, having to raise those legs up each time. Get our arms moving just like we're moving in the jumping jack. So if you get tired, you can always slow down. A few less reps. On the jumping jacks, you can shorten your arm range of motion, but really it's only 45 seconds, and you only have to do it these 3 times, if you haven't looked at the second set yet. 3, 2, and break. All right, last exercise is a marching plank. So the marching plank, many of us call the mountain climbers. We're gonna go from our palms, but I want us to keep a moderate pace. So I don't want us running in place. Time under tension for our core. All right, so Jane will show you from the side. I will show you from the front. You are also going elbow, knee to the same elbow. We'll just go 20 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Jane took over counting 10.
11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20.
And break. So that's 1 time through set 1. We're gonna go 2 more rounds. We're gonna start back up at our split squats. If you chose not to hold any resistance, that's completely fine. This is a high rep workout. You don't really need to have resistance if you don't want it. I'm gonna show you with the med ball now. I'm just holding it right at my chest.
10.
Remember to share that weight between your front and your back leg.
Oh,
Feel the burn.
break.
Shake those legs out, march them out a little bit. For those of you that haven't realized our outfits are the same, we're doing these back to back today.
Let's start with this side.
Here we go, 11. 18. And break, good.
Oh, I don't feel that burn. Oh.
So, here's another good distinction. Jane's a power lifter. Last time Jane did 20 reps was probably 5 years ago. I'm a runner. I do 20 reps all day long. All right, so sumo squat. I'm gonna hold my med ball down at my hips. Feel free to hold at your chest if you'd like. We've got 20 reps here. $18, $19, and break. Good work. Single leg RDL. So this time, I'm gonna have Jane show without the row. If you guys wanna add the row in, feel free to keep doing it. I'm gonna show you with what a row would kind of look like with a med ball. So I'm just gonna pull both arms to my chest, focusing on shoulder blade retraction. That's the big thing you wanna think about there. Jane's still gonna count for us though, because she's great at it. I'm gonna catch up apparently.
7, 8, 9.
Perfect.
These are getting ugly.
So if you feel like you're losing balance, you're out of control, maybe it's because your heart rate's really high. So if you can find a way to lower your heart rate, just using some deep breaths, controlling the exhale, or hit pause. Let your heart rate come back down a little bit, or enjoy the stalling technique that we're using right now. So you can lower your heart rate and hold your balance a little bit better. If that's not working still, shorten your range of motion. Don't worry about going as deep. So you'll see all of our imperfections here, guys. We're doing everything in one take. So if we fall, we're not reshooting it. It's all bloopers. It's all to help you feel normal. We have 2 more here. I do.
I'll do 2.
Good. All right. Going back to our jumping jacks or jump ropes, or maybe it's the marching. So Jane, if you want to show marching, I'll show jump ropes.
Marching.
Yep. Yep. So we've got 45 seconds worth.
Are you doing elbows? Or?
Yep. Elbows. So for all of you fancy jump ropers, feel free to do your single legs, whatever you want to.
Show us all your tricks.
I don't have that many.
Just flip one.
I'm almost out of them.
There you go.
Oh no! That's the risk. I'm gonna have a welt now. We got 15 seconds. 5 seconds. And break. Good work. Going to our marching plank. So if your wrists are getting uncomfortable, you can always go to your elbows. So I'll have Jane show you elbows. If your back is bothering you, or planks are just not your favorite, you can go from the bench. So I'll show you, I ask that you go from your elbows on the bench as we do it, but same thing. We'll show you the same exercise, marching plank. Lateral view from the bench or the mat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Good, so hopefully by now you figured out what you like to do. So this is your last round. You should go all out on everything that you can. So if that's more resistance because you're not tired, if that's deeper range of motion, whatever that is for you, let's go for it right now. Starting with our split squats. Halfway. And switch legs.
Itchy.
tired. Fortunately for Jane, there's no pause button for her today. So, sumo squats. Take that nice wide stance, toes focused out. Give consideration to those knees. You should feel good inner thigh load, good glute load, good quad load here. Here we go. Halfway. And 20, good. Woo. Single leg RDLs. Feel free, hold the weight, keep using your row if you'd like to. Go to body weight, whatever feels good. I'm gonna just do my weight here. Remember, if you're taking a little bit longer because you are added in the row, that's totally fine. You can pause this at the end. We'll try to take a couple extra seconds before we get into our jumping jacks. Woo. There we go. All right, so whatever you've picked to do, keep working with it. If you want the low impact option, if you like jump roping, or you prefer jumping jacks. I prefer jump roping.
I'm gonna go jumping jacks.
All right, 45 seconds, go. Seconds.
So we're jumping jacks. If you're going all the way above your head and it hurts your shoulders, just go lower, right?
Yep. Yeah. Keep a little bend at your elbows. 10 seconds. 5, 3, 2, and break. Woohoo!
Calves. No, quads. Quads feel huge.
All right, so we've got one more. We're going to finish with our marching planks, 20 reps. Then we're going to get water. Here we go, guys. 20 marching planks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, halfway. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and break. Now it's a good time for some water. Grab a little bit of sip, grab a little bit of water.
I thought you were coming up with a new saying.
And then we're gonna go through the bottom half of your workout. So I do wanna just touch base on body weight versus resistance really quick. So when you think about should I be adding more resistance on, I encourage people to always consider, am I doing the movement correctly and am I getting a good full range of motion? So again, I'm going to show you these exercises as body weight first, and I have a little bit modified range of motion, which is why I'm not loading my exercises a ton. My medicine ball weighs 6 pounds. So take that into consideration as you work through your reps today. So Bulgarian split squat, you're going to want something you can put your foot up on. We're using a bench. It can be a chair, it can be an ottoman, it can be a step, really whatever you like. So if you don't have something, go and grab it. It can be a box, anything that you won't crush by putting a little bit of weight on it. Squat and press, side lunge with a pulse, jumping jacks again, and then some hip dips for our from our forearms here. So Bulgarian split squats. We're going to put one leg up on the bench. Jane will show you a nice lateral view and our front foot. So what you want to watch when you can see Jane on the side is that her hips are always moving back towards the bench, as opposed to her knee coming forward towards you. It's harder to see on me. What you're looking for on me is the path. It's my legs staying nice and straight. So I like to tell people that you should be feeling much more of that work in the front leg. Feel it in that hip, the glutes working, the quads, the hamstrings. Try to lessen how much work you feel your back leg doing. Now, you see Jane's got her toe flat. It's totally fine. That back foot should really be dictated based on comfort. I like to have my toe pushed onto the bench, which looks more like this. That's not comfortable for everybody, so do what feels good for you. Switching legs. Halfway. Woo. I'm on 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, woo! All right, those are a doozy. Squat and press is next. So, comfortable squat stance, but we are going to talk about depth again. Really want us to focus on keeping our chest upright, trying to get our elbows to touch our knees. So, if you want to hold a weight, you're going to hold it right in your chest. You want to hold one, or you want to hold two, doesn't matter, elbows are in the same place, as long as it's at your chest. If you're like me, and you're not holding any weight to start, I'm putting my hands together. So hands are together, I'm gonna squat down, elbows to my knees, and I'm gonna go overhead for 1 rep. You're gonna use the power from your legs to press that weight. 6, we've got 15 here, 7, 8, make sure you keep that core nice and tight as you press. Again, we don't want any excessive or extra arching in our low back during the squat. I was behind you by 1, or the press. I have a bigger range of motion, I guess. All right, guys, side lunge with a pulse. So the pulse is happening out of the side, obviously. So you're gonna step out, perform half of the side lunge before stepping back in. So we're gonna come out, pulse into it, and then come back, all right? We'll do 10 on each side. And what you'll notice, same as we talked about yesterday or on day 1, or the workout trial video if you watched it, is that we're really looking to push our hips out to our leg versus allowing our foot to be so much wider that we can't push our hip out and load it. That allows us, by keeping it a little bit closer, to push our hips back, which you should be able to see on Jane. You should see her hips going back towards the back of her heel versus her knees shooting forward over her toe. Last one.
I wasn't counting that time.
All right, 10 more other side. So that pulse is gonna be as big as you can make it, but focusing on your glute and your hip. Focusing on keeping your chest up. One thing we don't want to do is this. Really try to avoid that, because your actual range of motion is your chest moving, not your hip sinking deeper. Some of us might feel a pretty good stretch on that inner thigh. That's okay, be mindful of that, make sure it's not painful. Good job. All right, jumping jacks, marching, or jump rope. What do you want to do, Jane?
I'll jump rope.
Jane's gonna jump rope. I'll show you the marching option again here. You know what, I'll give you a new one, guys. This is just gonna be a small squat with a side raise. 45 seconds worth. 3.
We're good.
She's got it. 3, 2, and go. So mine here, we're squatting down at halfway. I'll tell you to switch. Then we're gonna start raising the opposite leg. So I don't care how deep you go in this squat, I want reps. So think about pushing your butt back. Push it back to that wall or space behind you. Think about if you were reaching for a chair. Woo. We're gonna switch legs. That means we're halfway, that chest nice and upright. And break. Good work. So we're going to finish with forearm dips. So Jane will show you from the floor on her mat. If you need something comfortable, I'm going to show you from the bench, a modification, and then I'll progress down to the floor. So the dips are all we're doing is rotating side to side. You might feel your toes moving. That's fine. You kind of just inch them around to keep them in place. We're going to do 20 total, 10 on each side. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Good work. So if that was easy and you chose to use a bench, next time I encourage you to try down on the floor. It's a shorter duration than most planks. A little bit of movement makes it harder, gets our obliques a little bit, but I think you'll be able to do it. Back to the top, we're going with the Bulgarian squat. So, again, if you don't have the range of motion, which I don't have, I'm not using my weight. If you've had good range of motion and you feel fresh, like the workout hasn't caught up to you, grab a weight, 1 or 2, whatever you may have, all right? 20 reps here. Halfway. (18, 19, and 20. Hopefully you feel that glute, hamstring, and quad firing. If you feel both legs, that's totally normal, but I really hope you feel the work of that leg anchored in front of you. Little stall, shake out the legs. Get that back foot up. Here we go again. Oh, 13. Keep going here. 15. 18. And 20. Woo, super fun. So now, squat and press. My range of motion was perfectly fine. So I'm going to grab my med ball and I'm going to use it on this one. Give a little bit more challenge to my lower and my upper body. We've got 15 of these. Whatever is comfortable. You'll see Jane, I'm actually going to have her face forward for just a second. Jane sets up in these with a nice wide toe turn out. That's better for her hips. It allows her to get good depth. It's a great trick to use as long as you keep your knees pointing out. Do what feels comfortable, keep your knees in alignment, and make sure you load pushing your hips back. All right, here we go.
Oh, I forgot to press.
5 more. Last one, and break, good. All right. So we're going back to that side lunge and pulse. Again, hold a weight if you would like to, or work on increasing that depth or that pulsing range of motion, whatever you think you need the most, all right? Here we go. Check down, take a look, just look and see what your alignment looks like. Look if you're really trying to push those hips out versus stepping your foot out. Push those hips out, feel your glutes. Do the work for you here, keeping that knee pointing forward, keeping your bottom toe pointing forward for now too. 2 more. One more, I think.
I thought that was 2, but
okay. We're switching sides now, here we go. There's lots to think about over here.
it is, especially after this workout and the one before. My brain is a little foggy. I forget to do pulse.
That's 7 there, guys. Here we go. 8, 9, push those hips back, and 10, and break. Good. So jump rope, jumping jacks, marches, or squat and side raise. Whatever you feel good about doing here, all right? I'm gonna jump rope.
I got the jumping jacks.
And we're gonna go in 3, 2, and work.
This is a nice little resting recovery, but active recovery.
Active recovery, yep. Focus on your breathing here, guys. Try to even it out during this time. If you feel like your heart rate is really rising, slow down a little bit, maybe switch your exercise. 15 seconds. 10. 5. And break. Woo!
Oh yeah.
Good work. All right, we have our plank shifts, or dips I should say, sorry. So elbows either from the ground or elbows from a bench. 20 times, not too many. Hold that core tight. Keep your butt level, don't let it sink down. You're kind of working in a half moon or an arc pattern with those hips. Here we go. 20 reps. 1, 2, 3. I'm only counting to 10. 4, 5. Only counting one side of my exercise. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, guys. 1 round left.
We can do it.
Worst exercises first. Get those Bulgarians out of the way, and we're home free. All right, so let's get that back foot up on the bench. Let's focus on pushing our hips back towards that back wall, loading those glutes more, loading that front quad and hamstring. All right, here we go. 1. That's 5. Halfway. 15. Woo. 19, and break. Good work. One other leg.
Better.
It always feels better when you know it's your last one. You've got nothing to dread in the future. If you guys are having any hip flex or discomfort, move yourself back closer to your bench or your box or whatever you're using to support that back leg. Here we go. That's 5. That's 10. We're getting there. And that's 15. 18, 19, 20. And we're done with those. I'm sticking with my resistance. If you guys are getting tired, feel free to just do the hand hold approach as you do your squat and press.
Oh, I should wait.
See? She's getting guilted into it because you guys are here for the recording.
Oh, I would have cheated already.
Okay, comfortable stance.
That's why you need someone to do it with you.
Yeah,
Sorry.
accountability. Here we go. More on my count. Jane's a little shorter than I am.
Yeah, I'm done.
Her range of motion's different. Last one. Good.
Can't always reach the top shelf, but my squats get done quicker.
There we go. So side lunge with a pulse again, guys, here. 10 aside. Focus on pushing that hip towards the back wall, regardless of how big your range of motion is, okay? Here we go. If your heart rate feels really elevated right now, Try to take in some air, work on slowly exhaling. Don't force that air out. Try to calm yourself down, stay smooth. Smooth and calm is essential to controlling your heart rate.
I'm not counting.
This is our last one. And break, good. Switching sides here, guys. Here we go. Push through these last few exercises. It's your last leg exercise here. A little cardio interval next. We got a little core. You're done for the day.
Oh, I forgot to pulse on that one.
You did. 3 more. And that's it. Okay, so jump rope, marching, squat and side raise, jumping jacks. Whatever your preference is. What are you doing?
The marching.
She's gonna march. I'll jump rope again. All right, guys. 3, 2, and work. Oh. I have big shoes today. Man.
All the bloopers.
All the bloopers. Good news is 15 seconds. 10. Oh. 5, 3, 2, and break. Whew. Okay, finishing up with our plank. Last one. We got our hip dip plank here. Progress yourself to your bench or the floor, onto those elbows, into that plank, and here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, only counting to 10 again, 7, 8, 9, both sides here for 10. That's it. Whew. Did it, day 2. Hopefully stuck with it. You missed a day already. Have to do 2 in one day.
Oh, and it's a doozy.
We feel ya. That's what we did today. So we hope you're enjoying them. We hope you're having fun. Remember, if you have questions, shoot us a text message. If you got any feedback, text message, email, comment section below. Hopefully you're finding them helpful. It's good for us to have something to do during these 30 days. So thanks for watching, guys.
See you later. Have a good day.